How's it going, everybody? My name is JustJarrod, but you can just call me Jared, your one-stop shop for legendary loot news. And today, boys, we've got a doozy. During Microsoft's recent next-gen gameplay presentation that had basically no gameplay at all in it, seriously, they revealed this absolute gem of a game, the Ascent. Now, for the longest time, I've had conversations with people about my dream game. Also, my dad. Dad, if you're watching this is that dream game I wouldn't stop talking about that one time. Anyways, I'd tell him, basically take Diablo, the genre, hack and slash with a bunch of loot and character progression, but make it futuristic, sci-fi, and cyberpunk, and have, like, futuristic swords and guns as the loot. Boom. My dream game. In comes the Ascent. That exact thing. My script for this video is full of all caps words because of how hyped I am for this. Now, at first, I thought it was an Xbox exclusive game, which made me sad because I usually stick to PlayStation or PC. You go over to the Xbox site, it says the Ascent is an Xbox exclusive because of course it would. But it is actually coming to Steam, thank the Lord. Anyways, I'm excited, you're probably excited, and if you're not, you will at least be intrigued by the end of this video. This intro has been too long already, so let's get to it. Here's everything we know so far about the Ascent. The Ascent is being developed by the indie studio Neon Giant and is planned for release sometime this year on Xbox One, Xbox Series X, and Steam. Now, although Neon Giant is an indie studio, they've got quite the team of developers, some of which have previously worked on titles such as Bulletstorm, Gears of War, Wolfenstein, Far Cry, among other AAA titles. On Neon Giant's official website, it says their goal is to push the standards of what indie studios can offer and make fun video games that can stand beside the giants. And I know it's super early, but this game looks special. The action RPG genre is in desperate need of some evolution, and the Ascent might be the game to bring about just that. Let's go over to the Steam page for the Ascent and read about the plot and story and everything the game has to offer directly from the developer's words, since they explain it best. Then we'll talk about the trailer and go over that epic 12-minute long gameplay demo that IGN uploaded a few days ago. We'll pick through some important details, look at some loot, some badass abilities, speculate a bit, you know, the fun stuff. So, at its core, what is the Ascent? The Ascent is a solo and co-op action RPG set on Veles. I think it's pronounced Veles, it could be Vels. I'm going with Veles, a packed cyberpunk world. Welcome to the Ascent Group Arcology, a self-contained corporate-run metropolis stretching high into the sky and filled with creatures from all over the galaxy. You play as a worker, enslaved by the company that owns you and everyone else in your district. One day, whilst sent on a routine assignment to make use of your skills with a cyber deck, whatever that is, you are suddenly caught in a vortex of catastrophic events. The Ascent Group, the largest megacorporation on the planet, shuts down for unknown reasons, causing the automated security systems to go haywire. The survival of your district is threatened, rival corporations are trying to force appropriation, and crime syndicates are looking to boost their black market augmentation trade. You must take up arms to stop them from seizing control and embark on a new mission to find out what started it all. You belong to the corporation. Can you survive without it? You get to explore the Ascent Group Arcology, make allies as well as enemies as you explore the brimming Arcology and its wide range of districts from the deep slums to the higher luxury spheres. Shoot and loot, something I desperately need. Consider enemies' height and weaknesses into account when fighting, making the most out of every opportunity. Take down even the worst opponents to find the rarest loot. Customization. Modify your body with cyberware and gear up with weapons and equipment that suit your playstyle. Take a slick and precise approach or arm yourself to the teeth and go full chrome. Solo or co-op. Play the entire game alone or work together with up to 3 friends in local or online co-op. So, cyberpunk, sci-fi, looting, cyberware, augmentations, co-op, narrative-led, free roam, rare loot, looting, all the loot, there's a lot to be excited about. One thing I am curious about that we don't have full clarification on, and to be real here, we don't have much clarification on anything, but I do wonder if there will be classes that you pick from to base your playstyle off of, or if you just have a starting character and the cyberware and augmentations you have determine your playstyle or class. It could also be a mixture of the two, where you choose a class and then your subclass or quote-unquote build is based on your cyberware and augmentations as well as your gear, obviously. Just something I'm curious about, as I'm sure most of you are as well. Specific classes, each with individual playstyles and builds, usually add more replayability to an action RPG in my opinion, but we'll have to wait and see for more details to know for sure. And if the Ascent is meant to be revolutionary for the ARPG genre, maybe they'll come up with an even better version of the class versus no class system. Now on to the gameplay. There's a few shots in the reveal trailer that I want to point out, so let's start there. We definitely get to see either different classes or just different augmentations throughout this trailer, and we also see some wicked abilities that I'm guessing those augmentations apply to your character. On top of that, the trailer also shows off a variety of different weapons and loot, so let's run the montage. You've got auto rifles, plasma rifles, flamethrowers, automatic pistols, shotguns, loot, chest full of loot, explosions, a minigun, whatever the heck is happening here, ground stop, customization, dash move, co-op, turrets, hacking, tactical combat, grenade launchers, missiles, and a spider tank straight out of Destiny. There you go, that's the Ascent. Seriously though, there's a lot happening in quick succession in that trailer. This is some magic shit right here that this guy's pulling off. I literally have no idea what's happening, but it's shown in the alpha gameplay too, and I still can't really tell what's going on. This guy is huge, definitely some sort of tank playstyle I'm guessing. Will there be loot rarities? The answer is yes. Of course there will be in an action RPG. We will see the ever popular beams of light that indicate loot rarities on drop. That will be there, which brings us to the 12-minute long early alpha footage of the Ascent that IGN uploaded a few days ago. First off, this full gameplay demo will be linked down in the description below and in the pinned comment, so go check it out in its full glory if you wish, as we'll be just talking about some of the points of interest. Do note that this is early alpha footage. I only really noticed a few spots of hitching and some odd audio levels while I was watching it over and over again, going frame by frame like a maniac. Guys, this game is gorgeous. I know this is next-gen stuff, but this is by far the best looking action RPG. The attention to detail in the environment is nuts. The background visuals are nuts. The destructible environment looks nuts. The ability animations are mind-blowing. Just look at the bullet slowdown effect here. Is this good, or am I losing my mind? Honestly, the visuals are the best thing that I took away from this gameplay. I never would have imagined an ARPG to look this clean. Aside from that, you'll see from this gameplay that it looks much slower and tactical than the likes of Diablo, well, Diablo 3 at least, less on screen in terms of enemies, more positioning and tactical real-time movement happening. You can kind of see that even more so in the trailer when they're showcasing the co-op, not necessarily a bad thing. When I say my dream game is a sci-fi Diablo, the Diablo part is just basically top-down and a lot of loot. Hopefully there's a lot of loot in this game. In the entirety of this gameplay, I think only one piece of loot or two actually drop from enemies. The loot is mainly from chests and lockers. I'd imagine that's because of the alpha version, since on the Steam page it directly says take down the worst opponents to find the rarest loot. During the entire gameplay, you see the player pick up weapons out of chests, what I'm assuming is ammo via some lockers, and also some kind of armor piece from the chest at the beginning of the gameplay. At first I thought it was a chest piece, but once it's equipped, the entire upper body and head of the character changes. Maybe that's because of the early build, maybe there's some UI we're not seeing in this gameplay, and there were multiple items equipped at once that dropped out of this chest. I don't know, at least it's confirmation of some kind of armor system in terms of droppable gear and loot. Oh, and you can also equip multiple guns at once. Not quite sure how many because it's quite hard to keep track of everything happening on screen and what weapons are being picked up, but you can spot the character swapping between at least two weapons on the fly. Alright, let's take a look at all of the abilities we get to see in this gameplay demo. First up, you got this ground slam move that you can use obviously offensively, but also as an escape maneuver from incoming damage. You've got a grenade that you can manually trigger. You've got like a energy shield that follows you and slows down incoming bullets, the coolest ability shown off here in my opinion. You've got some tracking missile that shoots up out of your back and targets an enemy. You have a quick dodge move. You can what looks like hack into terminals that give you ammo and loot, as well as hack through doors like we saw during the trailer to grant you access to closed off areas. You can also loot interactable items like dead bodies for stuff, in this case a laser gun of some kind. This laser gun also projects a hologram-like barrier in front of you when you crouch and shoot. I'm not sure if this is like an ability or it's a perk tied to the gun, but this barrier only appeared when this weapon was being used, so I'm assuming that's the case. Either way, it's pretty sick. And last but not least, here's a stomp. That's the abilities. We actually see quite a lot of different variations of enemies in this small gameplay teaser. I mean, they all look like aliens to me, and probably most of them are aliens, but you've got smaller guys with guns and different versions of them, guys with swords who run at you, guys spamming grenades, guys with jump attacks, a big robot with an auto rifle, a big alien with a sniper, and just a big guy with a hammer. I'm just saying, this is early alpha footage, but it looks like it's not early alpha footage, you know? Just imagine what the fully completed game is going to look like. Last but not least, we get to see the equivalent to an in-game town or safe zone. There's NPCs to talk to, different machines to interact with, and a weapon shop. And here at the end of the gameplay, we see the gameplay to cutscene transition that doesn't really ever happen in most action RPGs, and it definitely goes to show, just like Neon Giant said, one of their main focuses with the Ascent is the narrative. Very excited to see what that entails, and what we'll get to see next from Neon Giant and this game. But that's all the info I have for you on the Ascent. I'll leave the links to every referenced site and video that I used for this video in the description and the pinned comment, including the Steam page for the Ascent, which I recommend you visit to wishlist the game if you are interested in playing it on PC. I'll also link the Twitter pages for the Ascent down below as well. If I missed anything, be sure to let me know down in the comments, and also let me know what you think about the Ascent. I want to hear your thoughts, your first impressions. Are you into it? Are you not? Let me know. Also, IGN will be continuously covering the Ascent in May as part of their IGN First. So we will get more news pretty soon and more gameplay next week. So stay tuned for that. I'll be covering it all here on the channel. But that's it for me. If you enjoyed this, give it a like as it helps get the video out to more people, and subscribe for more epic loot news on the Ascent, because I'll definitely be keeping a close eye on this as it has skyrocketed to the top of my most anticipated games of 2020, right behind Cyberpunk 2077. My name has been JustJarrod. Until next time, have a legendary day, night, afternoon. Peace out.